close, but I mean, I prefer Cortland to Gabe Davis just because of Diggs is still there.
That's
Diggs
fair.
will always like obviously the Bills are the Bills, so they'll put up points, but I'd still take Cortland Sutton over Gabriel Davis right now. Close, but I mean, I prefer Cortland to Gabe Davis just because of true. Spieth and Thomas versus M and Connors.
All right, hold on. So your my channel. Oh my god, the eye is just brutal.
Yeah, you can't. You got it's in pink. I like crazy contagious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I had it a few years ago. It's gross when you wake up. I remember that.
Oh yeah, your eye is like glued shut.
It's disgusting. Dan, have you ever had pink eye?
I have not, but I have had my eyes glued shut when I woke up.
Oh
It
nice.
was weird.
Can you give me some context, please?
No, I just woke up. I was maybe 6 and I couldn't open my eyes.
Gotcha.
So I would
That-
say I bawled my eyes out, but my eyes
that-
aren't open. So I bawled the inside of my eyes out.
Oh, that's pleasing. Thanks for sharing,
And my
Dan.
parents came in with like a I just had a bunch of like stuff on my
Jordan, when I finish doing this, could you add in all the links to the description like while we're going?
Yeah,
I bet. Thanks.
there's only like one link, but yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Well, it's Thrive, and that's it. I think.
Alright.
Oh, I can do it right now, though.
All right.
We're a team, Bob.
Yes, we are. We're a great team. Yesterday, I was on my deathbed. Yesterday, I had like a 102 fever. I wanted to die.
You have a caretaker, I hope?
What do you mean, like my mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
She's the best. Shut up, mom.
Been there. The thumbnail is sick.
Yeah. Worked hard on that in the McDonald's line.
I'm a fan of it.
All right. I'm putting the link in. Can you guys distribute it wherever you guys usually do? And I'll just put it out on my Twitter.
Yeah.
I put it in the chat.
I'm bonding right now.
All right. How's the audio looking?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Man, why did they put vowels next to each other on keyboards?
You can't handle that, Dan? Apparently not.
Not with the thick.
Do I have an echo?
No. All right,
Yeah.
now.
That I should be good. We should be good to go.
Can I drag?
Looking like JT with the Titleist hat.
Yeah.
Hashtag bring back Under Armour.
I don't know. Somebody made a good point about Spieth not having to wear Under Armour this week. He
Do
looks
you
like
think
a
that's
normal.
the blessing in disguise?
Yeah. God, this lighting
Facts.
is not very
Facts.
good.
Are we good to go?
Yeah, I'm thinking we're ready.
Are we still distributing? Why is chat
I've-
disabled? Chat should not be disabled. Let me fix that.
No one can comment.
What the?
No, it's not made for kids. No, do not restrict. There we go. I was gonna say, I'm not an authoritarian.
Dictator.
Why is the chat disabled?
Oh, because I put it was made for kids.
Oh, hey, yeah,
Exactly.
undo that.
I popped tons of pills for this, so I'm ready to go. So we're good to go.
We are good to go. I'm ready.
Fresh
to go.
out of a shower with my 101 fever. Really toughened it out in the golf match today, because if I didn't play, we would have to forfeit.
What a teammate.
I know, right? What a captain.
Do you want me to start
Captain
recording
Bob.
for audio
Yeah.
only?
Are we good to go?
You good, Dan?
Yes.
Okie dokie. You want to kick us off, Bob?
Yeah.
Alrighty. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. Can you give me permission?
Maybe.
You're
I'm
good.
gonna go change my hat. I hate this hat. Give me a second.
The famous basketball hoop is still there.
Feels so good to have the Under Armour back.
There you go.
Yeah, we're good to go.
Alrighty.
All right. Let's do it.
I need permission.
All right. We're really on top of things right here.
Yeah, we're clicking.
All right, we're good. Good evening, everyone who has joined us live for our 60th episode of the Go Get That podcast. What a treat you guys have got to listen to us for 60 episodes. Some would say it's a negative as well, but hey, we're still here. 60 episodes in just about a year is pretty damn good. That's over an episode a week. We've been grinding. Let's see if we can keep that. Let's see if we can keep that pace up. Let's see if we can make sure we're at least 115 by next year at this time. But it's the only really big week of the fall. It's President's Cup week. Definitely not the same allure as the Ryder Cup. But I am brutally sick with pink eye and something else. But we've popped some Advil, we've popped some Motrin, some Tylenol, all of the above. We're ready to go for this hour and whatever of straight United States international showdown talk. Excited to be
All right.
back after you guys got to see my beautiful face in the last episode, but we're good to go.
Yeah, I think you kind of started off well. There's definitely not the intrigue. I mean, it's a President's Cup. It's not a Ryder Cup, but I do think, I mean, if we go back to last year, Whistling Straits, the US won 19-9. I think it'll be closer than that this week. I think the international side is, I mean, they're definitely still overmatched. I think there's no denying that. But I mean, there's some good players on that team, and anyone can find a week. And just looking at like the ages, for instance, I mean, they're a lot younger. I think they got more fire than the old European squad that the US dismantled last summer or last fall. So I mean, it should be fun. I think, just looking at Mr. Spieth matchup tomorrow afternoon with JT and foursomes against Corey Connors and Sung Jae Im. That's definitely not a must. That's not an easy victory for them. There's some good squads. There's some good teams out there for the international squad tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, no, I'm actually, and I don't want to say excited, you know, and it froze.
It's all right. We got you.
Can hear you.
We can.
Okay, perfect. The it's gonna be a good week, I think. Like Jordan said, President's Cup is gonna be a lot more competitive than last fall's Ryder Cup. A lot of new faces on the international team. I think Adam Scott said eight new faces. And a lot they're talented, and all you have to do really is make a lot of birdies, so they can do that for sure. We'll see. But obviously I think the US has too much depth, too much talent. But could be some good highlights. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I highly doubt we'll see something as bad as the brutal stomping of the Europeans last year, but I mean, there is without a doubt a huge talent gap here. Huge. I'd say even bigger than, well, no, I wouldn't say bigger than the European team last year, but this could be over by Friday. But it also could be fun. I mean, if some of the young guns come out, Cam Davis, Tom Kim, it should be fun. So I definitely think, I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I don't think it'll be that close either.
Yeah, I think too. The US also has new guys on the team. That helps a lot. Like I think if they ran the same team out as last year against this team, they might get a little complacent and could easily drop some points they shouldn't. New faces like Cam Young, I think will have a good week. Homa, Scheffler, Burns, it's their first, taste of the President's Cup. So it should be still some fire from the US side. Even if some guys are not particularly excited about this week.
Yeah, I did the I enjoyed doing the same little exercise that I did last year for the Ryder Cup, where I found the average data golf ranking of each team, and the US is at an average rank of 19.2, and the international team is at 42.25. So obviously, I mean it's a mismatch. I'm not exactly sure what the European squad was at last year. It might have even been worse, to be honest, than 42.25. And I think the US team probably this year, I think, is a little bit worse than what it was at the Ryder Cup last year. But I mean, you look at the course too, Quail Hollow. I mean, they cut the rough for this week to make it more of a home field advantage for the US with all the length that the US have. I mean, I think we'll get into scores in a little bit, but the US won the Ryder Cup by 10 last year. I'd say, just to guess, the US wins by 4 or 5 this year. I think it'll be more competitive, but at the same time, it'll never be in doubt.
No, I said this on an earlier pod, and I really hope, as good as my go get that bets triumph was, I really hope you didn't take my advice. But I said that the United States money line was as good of a juice bet as you could get, and that I can promise you can throw thousands of dollars and it'd be free. That's probably not smart at all, but I mean, well, minus 700, I think they are right now, which makes a little more sense. When they were at minus 300, I was like, listen, this is a minus 500 or better line. It's just really wrong. part of the reason I said that. But again, I just don't see a way that they lose this week. I don't think that it's physically possible for the talent over 4 days and 5 sessions to be matched at all. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's we might talk about this a little bit, but it's just a shame what Liv has done. I hate to bring Liv into this chat, but I mean, if the international team had Cam Smith, Neiman, Leishman, probably a couple other guys I'm forgetting, I think I think the internationals would have a real chance of winning this week. But you take away the guys that Liv has taken, and the odds stand for themselves. Most people expect it to be a blowout. I expect it to be reasonably close, but I still don't think the US will ever be in doubt.
Yeah, no, my expectations for Team USA couldn't be higher, right? Like I don't think we can sit here and try and say that the international team has any sort of chance, but actually it wouldn't shock me. Just looking, so we've got the foursomes right for tomorrow afternoon. And it wouldn't shock me if the internationals have a 1.5 to half point lead after the first 2 groups finish. Because to me,
Wow.
the way that I see it is Cantlay Schauffele, they're likely going to win, but I think Scott and Matsuyama could draw a half out of them if Cantlay and Schauffele have a kind of midday. Scott's made a lot of putts this year with that new putting form that looks like he has a brick on the end of his putter, and if Hideki's striking it well, then that could be a half. But then,
all right, Mr. Growler. So basically, what you're saying is that Spieth is going to lose.
Yeah, I am saying that.
It's very possible.
And because it bugs me to say this. I don't think it's really all that true with Thomas. But sometimes Spieth just doesn't strike me as some dude with that fire in his eyes, Ooh. He doesn't he definitely cares, but he doesn't appear to have I don't think he can get to that gear of I'm gonna win. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's got that trust yet. And if you look at his quotes, it's like, oh man, I feel so good about my swing. And then the next line is like, but I'm not too sure about my ball flight because it's only been a week with the swing. So it's like, well, what does that mean? And in the foursomes, I could easily see Sungjae and Corey Connors. The only reason I'm not a little bit more confident that Spieth and Thomas are going to lose, because I think in the end, if you made me put money on it, I'd probably pick them. But because Corey Connors is a terrible putter, he's so bad.
But so Spieth,
right? But Spieth will at least make a 20-footer. Connors makes nothing.
That's fair, I guess.
But that's the only match that internationals actually have a decent chance, other than Cantlay Schauffele and Scott Matsuyama. But I just the other Cam Young and Tom Morikawa, that's absurd. That's an unbelievable duo. Scheffler and Burns will be hungry to play well, and obviously Max just won last week, and Finau shot 60 at a course that plays 8,000 yards. So
yeah, that was crazy.
I think they'll be fine. And in the end,
I wonder if Finau had the eraser out for that one. I don't know.
He recorded it.
He did?
I think you can watch every shot of Finau's 60.
That's sick.
Somewhere.
That's wild.
That's sick.
And apparently he missed some putts too. It could have been a 50 something.
That's wild.
Yeah. I don't know. Speedless to me is I know Data Golf says the same thing, but that's the one that I could see the US dropping a point.
I know we don't have a lease. I know we don't have a lease on because there's really not much to bet because of how favored the United States is. But you look at the Data Golf, kind comparison of that matchup, and then you look at the odds, they're two very different things. I mean, Spieth and Thomas are heavily favored to win that match, and there's definitely some great value on him and who's the other one? I'm blanking. Connors. There's definitely some value there. I think it's like plus 140. Like that doesn't tell the story of how close this match should be. And again, Sungjae's been playing really well. I'll just get off the bat. I don't think Spieth drops one tomorrow. I think they could tie, but I don't know. Spieth's really, really hungry to get back into the President's Cup. He was really disappointed to miss that last one. And with JT, again, I just don't, as well as Sungjae's been playing, I don't see Corey Connors dethroning that duo on day one at the President's Cup. Call me biased if you like, but you know how I usually am about Spieth. I don't see him losing tomorrow. Do I lose him? Do I see him making it to 16 in the singles match? No, not at all. But I mean, I just don't see him losing tomorrow. Not to Connors. If it was Hideki and Tom Kim or Sungjae and Tom Kim, I mean, we lose by tons. But
no, I think that's valid.
Yeah.
If they rolled Spieth and Thomas out first against Adam and Hideki,
we lose.
I think there's a decent chance
we lose.
They lose very much. It's just like. But Im and Connors, I will say, Corey making stuff happen seems a little unlikely.
At least just brought out the stats and said that Connors is actually ahead of Spieth in shots gained putting.
Well, yeah. I mean, Spieth was so bad this year. We'll see. I don't know, but I think at worst, U.S. is up. The way I see it, at worst they're up 3.5 to 1.5 after day one.
It's 5 points. There's 5.
Yeah,
I like the Ryder Cup format so much more.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
But yeah, everyone's commenting on my pink eye. Apparently, it looks brutal. I didn't think it looked that bad. I've been taking some medicine. Does it look that bad?
Just when you notice it, it's like.
Well, this eye is half shut, so
yeah.
It's not great. Well, the thing is, everyone on my team, my high school team, has the same thing. We have the entire team has this virus going around. It's some pink eye, some congestion. We're all sick at the same time. So shout out to them, especially shout out Tim, my boy Tim, who's really struggling. His eye is bright red. So yeah, shout out to the St. John's high school golf team for the troubles we're going through. But yeah, we did get a little off track there, but again, I feel like this is the best possible first round matchup for Spieth, personally.
I don't know if I'd go that far. But
I don't see very many more people that I'm more confident in him beating than Corey Connors right now.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't see Corey Connors as a killer at all. This isn't best ball, so yeah.
I will say the one kind of if you rank them in terms of who, because I think for Cam Young and Colin Morikawa, you could play them against anybody and it doesn't matter. Scheffler and Burns, same thing. I think the way Finau and Homa are rolling, same thing. Cantlay Schauffele, I think they could have a slow start and drop half a point, but Spieth Thomas is the only one, because I think Spieth is so volatile that it kind of depends on who you play. But if they played Tom Kim and KH Lee, that's KH Lee's a known Spieth killer. And then Tom Kim, we've already signed up for a 7-6 on Sunday. Hideki and Adam Scott, kind of the same thing. I feel like Siwoo would just drop bombs all day. With Cam Davis's tee shots, Taylor Pendrith and Mito Pereira, that is Finau and Homa might win 5 and 4, and that might be a little generous there. So The international team. It was brought up on Twitter a lot today, actually, about like making it a mixed event, like with females in there, with
It'd be
people
cool.
like women.
That would be sick.
I think that'd be cool. I
It
think
needs that spice because the President's Cup it's literally just like a knockoff President's Cup right now. A knockoff Ryder Cup.
Ryder Cup. Yeah.
So
and
like
I
it
think,
would be sick if they added females in. That would be pretty cool.
I think though that they have to then make it bigger. Like I don't think you can take 6 and 6. I want to see probably 8 and 8.
Yeah.
And then have 6 matches a day. And it would have to be in this format. I don't think you could really do 2 sets of matches a day. Because unless they do because it's foursomes tomorrow, 4-ball Friday, and then foursomes and 4-ball Saturday.
Yep.
I don't think you could really do that with or maybe you could do that with 6 matches, but I think that'd be really cool. And the
Will be
international women
stacked.
are really good. I think it's 6 of the top 8 in the world are international, like would qualify. But I don't think it's gonna happen, right? Like it seems like
Could.
yeah, I mean I want it to, but
I mean, you've seen how quickly the PGA Tour has changed their schedule this year. I mean, if they really wanted to do it, they could make it happen.
well, yeah, if the LPGA, right?
I mean, there's
Well, yeah, I
been
think
rumors of Live
that
doing like female circuit as part of
which is
Live.
kind
So I
of
mean, realistically, you could have another strategic partnership between the LPGA and the PGA Tour, and then create an event like that, like a mixed event President's Cup type of thing, which would be sick.
yeah, no, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Be really, really cool.
Yeah.
And you could definitely play it wherever, right? Like you wouldn't have to change the setups.
No.
Just have a different set of tees, right? So definitely something that I would love to see. And I just thought
Yeah,
I'd
I
bring it
mean,
up because it was kind of going around Twitter this morning.
it's a great idea. I think more people would watch. I mean, I think there's been 13 President's Cups. I think 11 have been won by the US. One was tied, and then the internationals. The hilarious thing is too, when they won the one that they won, it was a blowout, which is like the
Yeah.
craziest thing ever. They beat the crap out of the US, I think, in like 1999, maybe I want to say. Like it wasn't close.
Is there so obviously there's the Solheim Cup.
Yeah.
Is there a US versus international for women?
It's a good question.
I
I
don't
feel like I
think
should know this. I don't think so because I only know the Solheim
'cause I'm
Cup,
trying
which
to
is
think
awesome.
because if the President's Cup goes into a mixed event, then I feel like I just don't think it would be. I mean, I know the Ryder Cup does more numbers than the President's Cup, but then I feel like you'd have to make a mixed Ryder Cup as well, and that would be awesome too. But
I don't think that'd be as close,
I don't think I think a lot of people
but
wouldn't want to see that, right?
no,
So
so here's my like thing on it. The Ryder Cup's been around for like 100 years. Like I don't think that there's any need to touch that. The President's Cup is, I mean, it's very new. So like there wouldn't be anything with adapting a President's Cup, which started in 1994. But I mean, the Ryder Cup's been around since like the 1920s or 30s. I don't think you should change that.
Yeah, I don't think they should change the Ryder Cup at all.
well, I guess would there be a way to like rotate around where like I don't know, you get a President's Cup one year and then you get
No, because you forget that the Solheim Cup is also a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
yeah.
So like
Okay.
I feel like it would make sense to have those two things and then have something separate for
the President's Cup
the
because
President's
they
Cup.
don't
And
have,
another thing is you think about how much the United States dominates the men's game. International people dominate the female game. So it would be a lot closer than the President's Cup is right now.
Mhm.
And as Jordan said earlier, I just don't think we get the same thing with Europe in the female game.
Right. No, and I think that's valid. I will say though, in terms of the President's Cup, I think they have an identity now a little bit more than they have, and I think they've got a good team. Like Tom Kim, Sung Jae Im, uh, obviously Hideki. I mean, God, they lost so much with Cam Smith and Neiman, but like I think they're trying to build something, and then to kind of just wipe out the competition and make it a mixed event because it wasn't going well. Just something about that seems a little weird. No, I would love to see a mixed event. I just don't know how. Like, I don't know. I don't know how they do it, or if they just chop the President's Cut up like that. Anyway, but it would be cool to see, like, I don't know, Justin Thomas and Lexi Thompson versus Tom Kim and I don't want to
Lydia
butcher
Ko.
any of their names, but like
Lydia Ko.
Corey Connors and Brooke Henderson, for example. Yeah,
So
exactly. So I think there's definitely some cool pairings there, and hopefully we get something like that in the future.
I think we will. I don't know how long it'll take, but I just think they'd be too stupid to not do something like that in the future.
Right. And I think the
Like
point
the
about
tour's stubborn, but I feel like they've been listening a lot more to what people want.
right. And I think the point about Live too is a good one because obviously I've seen the talks about more kind of the Live tour for women potentially, or just a bigger partnership between Saudi Arabia and the LPGA tour. And I think maybe the PGA tour would then, like you said, make a partnership and have that be part of it, and maybe add another event like that somewhere in the regular season. That would be awesome. So hopefully that's stuff that can get worked out um, at some point. But I think the players need to start pushing for that though too, right? Because
Yeah.
no laying up saying we want that is different than Justin Thomas saying that, or Rory saying that, or Spieth or whoever,
You
Ricky Fowler. So
you make a good point because I mean Monahan through this entire like live situation has been saying it's the players tour. And I mean you guys have heard the rumors of what the players have wanted with the schedule. They went up to Monahan and Monahan basically said, sure, let's do it. So yeah, I mean if the players want it, um yeah, I don't see why they couldn't go up to Jay Monahan and propose it, and he could go from there and try and get it to happen. But I think we get something like that in the near future, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we don't know what we're gonna see, but we're definitely gonna see some changes as we've already seen this year. Like people want changes, and Monahan's gonna listen because at the end of the day, there's now a competing business. So, yeah. Another thing that I think was interesting was that it seems like none of the players are in favor for a live versus PJ event, which I would love to see, but PJ Tour players are having none of it at all. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but
I I selfishly want it, but after hearing like JT quickly strike it down yesterday during his interview, I fully get why he doesn't want it, and a lot of other players don't want it. It's because they don't want to give live that stage. They don't want to. It's like
because God forbid they lose.
Well, that, but you also
Not
don't want to
even that.
legitimize live. They want live to continue
Yeah.
to look like an exhibition that doesn't get OWGR points. That's a show and not a tournament.
Yeah.
They don't want to legitimize live, and I understand that as much as I think it'd be really entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, it
And
would
I
be the
think,
premier thing to watch.
well, and I think that's the tour problem is like, yeah, we can't have that be the golf spectacle because then it's like, oh, live is part of the golf spectacle. And then I'm sure there'd be some sort of also like, how do they even get that deal done? because there's no way the PGA Tour and Jay Monahan, Greg Norman are on like talking terms other than, hey, you're not coming to your event, and then Greg Norman IG posting something, right? So there's no way. I don't know. It'd be cool if maybe the match, like Capital won the match, got like JT and somebody.
Well, JT wouldn't do it, but you got like,
But if they get Bryson back to do it and they get
Bryson and Cam Smith.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun team.
Right. The dude, that Bryson video is so good with the rope.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's unreal. He's so like 12.
He's an athlete.
No, but that's like exactly how we would act if we were 15 years old. Which is like what makes it so amazing.
Yeah.
Like we would make the biggest deal out of it and it would hurt like hell. And we would scream and we'd be like, oh, ow. Like, you know what I mean? And then like, that's exactly how a 12 to 15-year-old would respond to that situation. It was perfect.
Yeah. And I think too, though, kind of being in the moment, like I wonder if he had just hit a bad shot as well. Like if there's any sort of previous frustration or anything like that. But also I think that's something that I kind of well, sometimes it's a bad look. I think I can kind of appreciate it about Bryson that he's always like himself, even if sometimes that's not the like, I don't want to say the best thing to be, but sometimes it comes off and maybe isn't the greatest look. He's just Bryson all the time. And that video is fantastic. And it probably does wonders for Liv, to be honest, right? Like they get people tune in to see Bryson run into a rope. So who knows what that means? But I mean, have you guys watched any of it since like the opening tournament?
To be fair, I have not watched any like PGA Tour either. I've been pretty busy. So
yeah, I mean, school football, just not interested to watch. I mean,
yeah, I agree. I definitely watched like the tour champion. I watched the PGA Tour and the playoffs for a little bit. Obviously, it wasn't in full. Like it wasn't watching like the Masters or whatever. But I tuned into Live Golf for maybe 2 minutes. It's like, okay, D playing well.
Like no one watched the Fortnite here, right?
No. I didn't turn. I was almost gonna turn it on for the last couple holes, but then it wouldn't load. So,
That's the PGA Tour test right there.
Yeah, and then because I couldn't figure out where it was on because it was like the tee times were different, right? Because there was some rain or something, so it wasn't on live TV. So I had to figure out, all right, where am I watching this? And then at that point, people had already tweeted that Willett 3-putted. I'll say though, the PGA Tour, like ever since Liv has kind of started, they haven't really had like they've gotten the results and the drama that I think they kind of want. Right? Like you get Rory winning in Canada and then he wins the tour championship. You get a pretty cool BMW week if you're just a neutral golf fan. With Cantlay, Will Zalatoris winning's a big deal. I'm trying to think of kind of what else happened down the stretch. But then like last week, like Max Homa winning, that's something that you can
that was amazing.
And chipping in like that, and then Willett also 3-putting is, it makes Spieth fans happy, I guess.
That would never happen though if Spieth was the one who chipped in. Like, you know what I mean?
No, exactly. Well, he would have drained the first putt.
Not chipping that in though.
We were right in the middle.
Spieth doesn't chip that in.
He would have missed the first putt, giving us hope, and then right in the middle for the second.
Yeah, and then playoff, and then he will hold out from the fairway or something like that. So,
I want to go back to this the match tomorrow for Spieth and Thomas versus Im and Connors. I kind of agree with Dan that I think Spieth and Thomas could lose, and it's solely just because I think the team of Im and Connors is not that much worse than Spieth and JT. I mean, since JT was gifted the PGA Championship, he really hasn't played very well. If you look at his stats for a player of his caliber, he's not been very good since he won the PGA. I mean, he was close in Canada. I mean, he T5'd at the Tour Championship. If you really want to count that, he was never going to win. And besides that, he's been, I mean, pretty brutal. He's missed a couple cuts. T52 at the BMW, T53 at the Open. Like JT has not been very good. It's a shame he got bailed out to win another major, but and then Spieth is, as Dan said, I mean, Spieth's king of volatility. Could he come out and play really well? Yeah, but if you're, I don't know who's going to make putts on that team too. Like that's another thing. Like I know Connors obviously has a flaw with the putter, but he putted better. I mean, at least said it. He putted better than Spieth did in 2022. And I mean, who's making putts for the U.S. team? They better be hitting it in close because I don't trust any of those two guys to make a lot of putts.
Yeah, and the thing about alt shot tomorrow, right? Foursomes. And I know Spieth's never lost the President's Cup foursome, but he's mostly played with Patrick Reed, and I think they're actually a pretty good pairing. And he was just better back then. But like JT and Spieth miss a lot of fairways. And my guess is Quail Hollow. Obviously, they cut the rough. My guess is they maybe like made the fair. I don't know, make fairways bigger, but like they obviously tuned it up for the Americans who hit it farther and likely spray it a bit more. But if you're hitting out a short rough and you can't quite tell if it's going to jump all the time, right? That seems like a disadvantage to me. Whereas Corey Connors doesn't miss a fairway, and Sung J.M.'s a robot, right? So it's like those dudes are just going to be hitting it to 20 feet every time, and that's like a not an ideal situation for a team that might be scrambling quite a bit and then can't really make a putt inside of 8 feet, like you said, right? They're not getting anything unless it's inside like 2.5 feet, like 2 foot
feet.
8, 2 foot 8 inches. I think Im and Connor should make him putt it. And if JT feels disrespected by that, then he feels disrespected by that, like he should. Didn't Rahm and Sergio do that? And JT was like, he made it, and then he was like, ugh, he made me putt that, or he put down his putter in the hole and whatnot.
Reed did that, right?
Reed did that?
That
Who are
was
you referring
Bryson.
to
That was
that?
Bryson.
That was Bryson.
Oh, well, but Bryson's got that long putter. That's the funny part. That putter was probably like 4 feet, and he's like, man, he's inside it. Anyway, yeah, no, I think that's the danger spot for the U.S. tomorrow. Rest of them, it really should be 4.5 to a half tomorrow at worst. But I'll give the internationals a 1.5. That's what I think we'll be going into on Friday, looking like.
That's fair. I think you guys are freaking not giving enough respect to the team of KH Lee and Tom Kim. I think the US could, I mean,
Well,
they could lose that match.
Who are they playing?
Cam Young and Morikawa. Let's
Oh,
say Morikawa.
KH Lee, especially as a day one merchant, should win that by 16.
That's fair.
I mean, Morikawa was the
that
most disappointing
is a
player on
loss.
tour this year.
But
That is a loss for the United States.
If you pair up, Morikawa wasn't playing amazing going into the Ryder Cup, played with DJ, and they rolled everybody. And Cam Young is basically a young DJ. Like that's
a very nice comparison.
The longest hitter who's very accurate and also a pretty good putter, Cam Young, with Colin Morikawa, who's one of the best iron players of the last like 3 years. And then Young's a decent putter, and Morikawa just changed his putter, which means he's going to make everything this week because that's what happens when he does stuff like that. I don't think Young Morikawa I don't think they get tested this week. I will say another thing too, though. So Friday, obviously, Kisner and Billy
Horschel.
Horschel will play in a 4-ball. Who's sitting for the U.S.?
I mean, if they were smart, they'd sit
Homa.
Spieth, but
Yeah, if they were smart, they would have said Spieth. They're not going to though.
they won't. Yeah.
I think
You-
Homa definitely has to. I guess Homa sits.
Homa might be kind of. See, that's the thing. The other thing is too. There's two spots on two like rounds on Saturday.
Okay, so I haven't really looked at the matchups because I was busy, but like, so who's sitting tomorrow for the U.S.?
Kisner
It's
and Horschel.
Horschel and Kisner.
That's a mistake.
I
No, it's not.
no, it's not. Kisner should play as he should be the guy who plays the least.
Kinder should play 2 matches.
No, I agree. He should play tomorrow. He should play Friday and Saturday. He should play the 4 balls, and that's it.
You know what? I'd be okay with him playing Saturday in a 4-ball.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with him playing 3, but I don't think he should play in a foursome.
Right. So then he plays. Yeah. So three total with the single. He plays the 2 4-balls and
Yeah, I'm all
But
right
the
with
other
that.
thing is I don't get.
I'm all right with Horschel playing just a single, personally.
No, Horschel will get a 4-ball.
Unfortunately.
Thing is, I don't. I know they sat. God, who was it? Steve Stricker sat Spieth in a 4-ball.
That was wild when Spieth.
in the
did-
Ryder Cup.
That team was better.
I don't think you can do that. Like, why sit him in a 4-ball and why not in a foursome? Because his own ball, he's going to make a lot of birdies, right?
True.
Yeah.
And that's all that really matters in 4-ball. So, yeah, I don't know who they're going to sit. It might be Homa wouldn't shock me, given that he just played the Fortnite last week and he's probably not feeling great and they're going to want to run him out on Saturday.
It's also a rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie, but like I don't think like the Spieth sit the Saturday foursome.
I think that's the smart thing. I mean,
That's what
I mean,
I think. That's probably what I would do. I don't think you're not sitting, man, because all these guys make birdies, right? So you don't really want to leave Finau out of a 4-ball, given that he just shot a 60
from 8,000 yards.
Yeah. I mean, I think Cantlay Schauffele you play the whole time.
Agreed. Cam Young will sit.
Cam Young.
Sit
Man,
more
but he makes a lot of birdies too.
sit
They
more.
all do.
Or you could. Yeah, but you could. Cam Young shoots like 61 every other week. Low key, I think you could sit Morikawa for the 4-ball.
Yeah.
Elise just said, I don't know why the U.S. is so hell-bent on the buddy system. Not sure from an analytics perspective. These are the best pairings. I agree to an extent. They should never split up Xander and Pat. The stats just prove that they play so well together. But Spieth and JT statistically is not the best pairing. At all.
Not as a foursome.
Not at all. They both can't putt.
No, but in 4-ball, like it's different, right? You just make they play with each other all the time. That makes sense. You're right. Cantlay Schauffele, they stay. Young Morikawa to me is perfect for a foursome.
I agree.
And then I think Scheffler Burns, like those 2 dudes are just good at everything and they'll be fine in a foursome.
Yep.
Finau, Homa, I think you just have to play them over a Horschel Kisner foursome.
Well,
right. So the only pairing that I actually have like not concerns, but just like Spieth Thomas seems like the one pairing that doesn't make a lot of sense. Other than that, they're friends,
I agree.
especially for the foursome. 4-ball, it doesn't matter. You could play any of these dudes with, like you could go a Spieth Scheffler 4-ball and they'd be fine.
I love to see that.
You could go it'd be really cool if Zalatoris was here, because then these decisions would be a lot harder.
He is there. Did you guys see that?
Yeah. Yeah, I
which
did
is
actually.
cool.
If he
Personally,
was
I'm
there,
glad he's not on the team because now we finally got our Kisner farewell party before he becomes a captain next year.
You're a loser.
I know.
right? But
And
it's
I love
okay. So
Mr. Torres personally.
He balled out this year. He got his first win and then he gets hurt. And he freaking lost so much money too.
He
yeah,
doesn't care about the money. He's gonna make so much money.
I know, but like, wasn't he gonna enter like
that is.
number 1 or number 2? And he's like,
I
Off
think
to
it was
live.
3, maybe 2.
what was he? I think he was 2.
He-
So he could
yeah,
have won
he ended
15
up
million
being 3.
dollars.
But yeah, he lost. Yeah, and there's no guarantees, right? So
And like he hasn't
um,
made enough to the point where like he's set for life, I don't think. Like he's obviously done well, but like he's not in the Spieth, JT, Cantlay. Like those guys are
yeah,
very much set for life. But
man,
the show goes on. He'll make the Ryder Cup next year.
there's some tough decisions for Davis Love, to be honest. I like unless you want to just pummel the international team.
Honestly,
I think there's pretty clearly 2 guys that are playing just not in the same form /
this
same pedigree as the other 10 on
this
the
is my
American
hot
team.
take of the day, you know? This is my hot take of the day. I truly believe. Hold on. My computer is running out of battery. I will resume my hot take in a second. Continue talking.
Regarding Mr. Davis Love the third, I just wish Steve Stricker could captain every team. I think he did a great job last year. I mean, he mixed it up. He let guys play with their friends, but he tried different stuff and they won by 10 points.
Yeah. Also, Davis Love, like, I feel like he takes creepy photos. Not like he physically takes photos, but like just when he like stares, he just looks. I don't know, a little creepy.
Love that. All right, hot take. I truly believe that the talent is just so good that the international team could pick the United States pairings and we'd still win.
That's fair. I agree.
I just think that the talent is so good, is so much of a mismatch that any of these guys can play with any of them. I mean, unless they're trying to completely batter them into the ground, I don't think the pairings are going to matter that much.
I agree.
But yeah, I guess it's not that hot of a take, but
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I think too, like he's rolled out 4. The only like Speed Thomas is the only one that just doesn't make a ton of like golf sense, other than they played a lot of golf together. But all the other ones, like, they make sense. I mean, yeah, I love Morikawa Young. I've said that probably 3 or 4 times. Obviously, Cantlay Schauffele just fits. And I think Scheffler Burns are gonna roll too. But I don't know if you know, Spieth and Finau, that'd be cool. Thomas and Kiz maybe for a 4-ball. I don't know.
I want Spieth and Homa.
give me Spieth and Kiz for a 4-ball. How about that? That would be something.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever root for an 18-hole score more than I would for those two. That would be my dream come true. Unless it's some exhibition Spieth played with Appy Barnrat. That would be my dream scenario. All right. Before we wrap it up, do you want to go through all the other matchups that we haven't talked about? Because there's 5 matchups tomorrow.
Yeah. I can name them if you want me to.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so first out, I'll give the times to 1:05 p.m. Cantlay and Schauffele versus Scott and Matsuyama.
All right, let's all give our predictions and then we can discuss. I'm gonna go. Wait, who's the U.S. players?
Cantlay and Shoffley.
They're first out
Yes.
against Scott and Matsuyama.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with a half. I don't feel very good about it, but I'll go with a half.
I'm gonna agree with
One up.
Dan. I think
one up.
they tie.
I
up
think
for the
I
US,
think I
right?
think I think I think they win that match. I think it'll be close, but I think they win the match. I think that'll be the match that like, oh, this could be something, this could be the year that the internationals do it, and then they lose, and then they get blown out for the rest of the tour.
Yeah. That could be like that also has Cantlay Shoffley 2-1 written all over it. So
Yeah.
but I'm gonna go with a half.
Yeah.
I agree with the tie.
All right. We've already given our predictions on Spieth. I think he's gonna win. You two think he's gonna lose, but that's fine.
No, I said he
Gordon
could
did not
lose.
say that. Stop putting words in people's mouths, Bob. Stop doing it.
Feisty over there.
I don't know. I'll go with the half again. If you're putting the
Well,
Good.
I'm gonna go with Spieth Thomas win 3 and 2. I think that easily could lose, but they're definitely not gonna win the 18th hole because there's no clutch gene on that team. So
unless
I think
they win making 5 and the other team makes 6.
exactly that's about the only way they would win the 18th hole.
Because JT thrives in those situations.
So I'd go 3 and 2, Spieth and Thomas.
What's the next one?
Cam Young and Morikawa versus Tom Kim and KH Lee.
I like Tom Kim and Cage Lee to win that one on like 17.
I agree. I think the international team wins that match.
Yeah, I just don't see Cam Young playing well tomorrow. I don't know why. I just don't have a good feeling. And again, I think Cage Lee has himself a week this week.
Yeah. I could see
I mean, he loves those
that.
those moments.
Not a TPC though.
It's not, but like Quill Hollow is as TPC as a non-TPC gets. You know what I mean? Like it's such a classic court. Like it's such a straightforward. Like,
yeah,
it's pretty TPC-ish.
I like Young and Morikawa 3 and 2.
Yeah, you're wrong. You think Tom Kim's losing on 16? No chance.
Match 4, Schauffele and no, not Schauffele, moron. Scheffler and Burns versus Siwoo and Cam Davis. I think this is a blowout for the Americans, like 4 and 3 or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't think that Scheffler and Scotty were going to do well in their first match, but you just look at that other team and man, I mean, Siwoo, when's the last time he made a cut? And Cam Davis, I mean, that guy.
Cam Davis is going to get a train ran on my field.
That guy gets close to playing. Like that guy is a classic Thursday, Friday, Saturday, good thing going, and then shoots 50 on the front 9 on Sunday. So, yeah, I like that to be a blowout as well.
Yeah, I
don't think it'll be a pretty blowout. I just don't think that the other team will play well.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I just don't think that Scotty and Sam Burns will make that many mistakes.
Yeah, I was gonna say 4 and 3 as well, but I'll go 3 and 2.
Try and be different. I respect it.
Sake of saying something different. Yeah.
Respect it. And then the last match is Tony Finau and Homa versus Pendrith and Pereira. I have the US winning that one too, probably by like 3 and 2, 4 and 3. The depth of the international squad is just not very good. There's just way more talent on the US team.
Is on this team.
He is on this team.
Who are their subs?
It's Bezadenhout and Munoz.
I mean, you can't tell me that those guys aren't better fit for this than Taylor Pendrith.
I think that tells
sorry.
you. I think that just tells you that you haven't watched a lot of golf this past like 3 months.
I mean, I haven't, and I know Taylor Pendrith has had his moments, but like, is a T22 really a moment? Like,
no, Pendrith was he dueled Finau in Detroit.
He has like
did he win?
He has 6 top 15s in his last 7 starts.
Really?
He's been really good, Pendrith. Yeah, he's been good. I mean, one of them was the freaking Barbasol. He,
I
the,
still
tr-
like
the
that. I still like them 7-6 in that one. That's gonna be. I mean,
But
that's a
but
great. I
agree.
love that pairing. Homa and Finau, they're gonna rock and roll this week.
fun
I
team.
I like the. I have them 5-4.
Yeah, I think after day one, I got the U.S. up 3.5 to 1.5.
I like 3.5, 1.5 as well.
I have
Yeah.
4-1, but like I said before, 3.5, 1.5.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think the internationals will be able to
I
grab
mean,
them
I
more.
truly do think though, if we get past the first two matches, the first 3 matches, then we have a sweep in the back.
I'm excited to see Max Homa play in the President's Cup. I think he's going to be electric.
Yeah.
Now that I'm hearing those matchups, I don't see a chance the United States does not lead after tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I usually
yeah.
think they lead.
No, yeah. The only, I mean, unless Spieth Thomas lay a dud and then Tom Kim and KH Lee go crazy, and
That's
then
two. They
like,
still need another point.
and then Adam Scott just doesn't miss, and Cantlay and Schauffele have an argument, a marriage argument between them. Like, I don't know, like Schauffele doesn't want to hold Cantlay's hand or something. Like, I don't know. The last two, I agree. Scheffler, Burns, Finau, Homa. That if the U.S. should win those comfortably, and
Yeah.
comfortably is a little generous, I think. So
Yeah, I mean, if we're being honest, it's very, very possible that Spieth and Thomas lay a dud, though.
I am.
I mean, I see the early ball pickups and the head shakes, and they don't make anything. Like, it's very possible.
Oh, that I can already picture it, man. I mean,
when's the last good Thursday that Spieth has had?
Scottish.
BMW, he played pretty well. BMW.
Okay.
What do you do at BMW?
It was solid. It was 4 under, I think. 3 or 4.
3, I think.
Oh, right. And then
round.
he decided to go for it from the.
Yeah, Saturday was not good.
Yeah. Like, there's no like. He just looks like sometimes he doesn't. I don't know. There's too much like working instead of just having fun.
Yeah.
I know he preaches, "Oh, we're gonna have a great time this week," and yeah, you probably will because you're gonna win by 7, but you might not. You might score the least amount of points on the team, so we'll see. We will see.
Yeah, I think that about wraps it up. I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to share. I mean, we all think the U.S. lead pretty comfortably tomorrow. I think it would take a lot of things to happen for the internationals to have a lead after tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll have to post our predictions when the next set of when the 4 balls come out for Friday.
Yeah.
Just keep see what's going on and whatnot. But I'm sure we'll be keeping. Obviously, you guys will be tracking tomorrow, and I'll be following and thinking and maybe watching a little bit. It's kind of a busy day. Friday I'll be watching more, but should be a fun one. I don't know if you've got anything else, Bob.
Feel better, Bob. Bob, we can't hear you. Can you hear him?
No, I was gonna say I can't hear him either.
My bad. Yeah. I don't have anything else. Tomorrow, my health will once again be determined by George Spieth golf, which is not advised by your local doctor at all. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun for about 2 hours, and then it will be over. So
yeah. You should clip that. It's a good.
Well, I did promise you that if you put 1,400 to win 200 on the United States, it was free $200. So, yeah, it's up to you.
No, but you should clip the doctor thing. That's good.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's not, yeah, not advised. You can drop that whenever it's not going well or whenever it's a roller coaster. Just drop a little video. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
I agree. I'll do that. Thanks,
It's
guys.
perfect.
All right.
All right.
I think we're good.
We're signing off.
All right.
Have a good night.
Cheers.